All right, guys. Well, I keep getting a ton of questions to review more budget and high value night vision. And today we're actually going to be looking at a digital night vision monocular. Now, the last one we looked at was a micro monocular, and I wasn't a fan. It was actually pretty high priced, I believe, right around $300 to $350. But this is actually from the same company, Bestguarder, on Amazon. And it gets a little confusing with a lot of the options on this digital night vision. So if you want to see the specific model I'm reviewing, I'll leave a link in the description below. This particular version is the WG50 by Bestguarder, and it is a 6x optical zoom with a 50mm objective lens. Now, this is a digital night vision, and a lot of people kind of equate this to almost a digital night vision camera because this does record photos and videos to an SD card that you can put in the side. This particular one does not actually come with an SD card, so you'll have to buy it. The picture here is a little deceptive along with this rail system. Makes it kind of look like you can use this as a night vision scope. I found this to be sort of true. You can use a Picatinny rail adapter to go Picatinny rail to Picatinny rail, also found on Amazon, to put this on a rifle. That way you can mount it to a rifle and use some type of laser aiming module that's an IR laser like the Holosun I reviewed. Pick that up and take your shots. But a lot of times I kind of stay away from mounting these to rifles, at least high caliber rifles, because of the price of some of these. I'm not sure the electronics can handle the recoil. This is pseudo marketed as that, so we may give it a try in the future, but what I wanted to do was just review it as an independent monocular on its own accord without mounting it to a rifle, and that's what I did for this first review. The monocular itself feels a lot more sturdy than some of the other night vision I've reviewed in the past. It almost has this very thick rubberized coating over the entire optic, which is really nice compared to what I felt with that cheaper plastic. All of the adjustments feel smooth. It almost feels more high-end than those other ones, but this one actually comes in right at about the $223 or $24 price point with free Prime shipping. Again, I'll leave the most updated link in the description below. The eyepiece is actually very nice rubber, and to turn it on, you just click the power button. And now this one's actually already on. I've been using it, but you can see that you can cycle through the IR modes, the IR 1, 2, and no IR. And then you can actually cycle the digital zoom, plus and minus, and then you can go through different menu settings, and you can also record. I'll try to show you guys that right there. All right, so I took my SD card out, but once you click record, you can actually select from the side right here whether you want to record a photo or a picture, and you can plug in your audio for your TV and your USB, I believe. I'm not sure if it charges those. This probably could take rechargeable batteries, but I just using standard AA batteries. And I find it best when you are recharging something to just take the batteries out if you are using those AA rechargeable ones. Put them in an independent battery charger and put them back in. I find that to be a little bit safer and it works a little bit better. You can see you can toggle the switch between photo and video, and that is how you operate it. Not only does this have a Picatinny mount, it also has a tripod mount. So any standard camera tripod mount, you can mount this to it and set it up. So for $230, I'm really liking this optic. To turn it off, you just hold that down and it flashes that Bestguarder screen. So you are actually just looking through a lens system at an LCD screen. So this is not like that green actual night vision that most people think of when you're thinking of night vision. This actually will pick it up with almost like a camera, and it'll use this built-in IR right here. And I will kind of show you guys that because that is pretty important, and I wanted to bring that up about this review. So when you turn that on and you do click the IR setting, you're going to see that red emitter at different stages. Now when that's on, I mean, it's visible in the day, so you can definitely see that at night. So it's not the most stealthy camera or a stealthy night vision device. And when you turn the IR completely off, this does not pick up enough ambient light at night to actually magnify it. So you are going to have to use that IR emitter. But other than that, most of these digital night visions that I've been reviewing have the built-in IRs, and you're going to see them. That's just plain and simple. You could potentially get another IR source. So this guy right here is the battery compartment, and I'll show you that. And you just pop your 4 AA batteries in, and then you can line everything back up. The positive on the positive, the negative on the negative, and everything will be good to go. And it actually seems like it forms a nice seal, although I haven't taken this out in the water. I'd probably stay away from that. It seems, though, like it has a pretty nice overall sealed to almost all of the components, so pretty water resistant in my opinion. We've already talked about all the specs and features, but I do want to hit on the fact that this feels like a quality optic. It feels really good and it looks really good. The image is actually clear, and we'll show you guys some of those images in a second where I'll narrate over and explain it to you. So it's probably best just to do that now instead of talking about it. Let's take a look at those and we'll give you my opinions after that. So I'm starting off looking at my backyard, and you can see these two deer laying down. The image is kind of laggy, and I find this to happen on cold nights with some of the digital night vision. It kind of lags a little bit. But you can see how crystal clear the image is for a $225 set of night vision with recording feature. That is not bad at all. These deer are actually sitting at about 80 to 90 yards, so you can see how well the zoom works. Now it gets slightly pixelated when you move the camera quickly back and forth if you're doing it in a hurry, so you may lose track of what you're really hunting. But as long as you pan slowly like I'm doing here, you can kind of make out everything pretty nicely. Now the house that we're looking at right now is actually sitting at about 250 yards, and now I'm going to pan back over to the deer. So I'm just very impressed at the quality of this digital night vision. And if you weren't looking to get both eyes in and don't mind using this as a monocular, it actually works very well, especially for spotting game, for hunting and things like that. Moving along, this is now out the front yard, about 150 yards to the road, and you can see the tree line very nicely and the distinction between the grass and the road. A car's coming now, and I'm going to try to pan and follow that car. You can see everything getting a little bit brighter as the headlights approach, and it doesn't necessarily completely blind you. You can actually make out the car, and as long as you're panning smoothly with the car, you can actually make out the subtle details. Now what you're looking at, I believe, is a skunk or a cat at about 160 yards to the tree line, which is pretty slick. And then I went over to an abandoned trailer park in the area, which is kind of run down and nobody lives there anymore. But this is about 70 yards to the trailer, and you can see how closely it zooms in and the attention to detail on man-made structures. I find that these digital night vision actually picks up man-made structures way better. I mean, look at the crispness and the clarity of that over some natural structures. But again, it does well for both. But I did want to show you guys some options on actual homes and buildings that people weren't occupying, just an abandoned trailer park. So this guy does really well. Even at 100 yards, you can see how closely it zooms in. So in summary, if you're looking for digital night vision that's not going to break the bank with the potential of expansion to mount to a rifle, this is awesome. A great spotting scope, or if you want to check out a lot of land or just in and around your home but you don't want to draw a ton of attention to yourself, this is perfect. And for $225, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I mean, you really aren't going to be disappointed with the quality of everything you see here. I've held some lower quality ones in the past, or cheaper ones in the past, for about $125. Now they work great, but they don't have the record feature. And if you're a hunter or you want to record what's going on outside, having that feature is nice, and this does a great job of encompassing all of that, including some nice features like this protective cover, overall fit and finish, and feel of the optic. I hope this gives you another high value option for digital night vision, and leave any suggestions for reviews in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.